They call Chris Coleman the Chris Watts before Chris Watts. He was the bodyguard for a very famous TV Christian preacher when he started getting threats that someone was going to kill his entire family. Chris Coleman grew up in a very religious household. His parents were actually both pastors. Chris was always a high achiever and his parents expected great big things from him. So in his early 20s, when Chris met and started dating Sherry, his parents did not approve. They did not like her. She wasn't who they expected their precious son to end up with. But that did not matter because Sherry was already pregnant. And very shortly after giving birth to their first son, they got pregnant with their second son. Chris previously had a career in the Marines, but now that he was a family man, he wanted a more stable career. So Chris took a job as a bodyguard for the very, very famous TV Christian speaker Joyce Myers. Now this is really, really crazy because growing up, my mom used to watch Joyce Myers like every single day. Joyce Myers is a very, very famous Christian TV speaker who would sell out tours all across the entire country. And although Chris wanted a career change because he wanted a more stable life and to be a family man, now he's traveling even more because he's the bodyguard for this person who's doing sold out shows all across the country all the time. And the perfect life that Chris and Sherry built began to crumble. Chris was always traveling, he was never home, so his wife Sherry is upset. And then when he was actually home, Chris would expect certain things from his wife Sherry, but Sherry's unhappy with her husband, so she's not in the mood. So Chris felt that his wife wasn't performing her wifely duties, so he started looking for it elsewhere. And then starting in November of 2008, something started happening that caused the Coleman family a lot of stress. Chris began receiving threatening, hateful emails, threatening the lives of his entire family. So the sender of these emails supposedly hated Christianity, hated Joyce Myers, wanted Joyce Myers to stop spreading the word of Christianity, and if she didn't, they would kill Chris's entire family. So obviously these emails are strange for multiple reasons. If they hate Joyce Myers, why are they threatening the lives of her bodyguard's family? It's a little strange. The emails were literally coming from an email address that was destroychris@blah-blah-blah.com. Destroy Chris. It's a little on the nose. But the emails really freaked out Sherry, Chris's wife, and then it got even worse because Sherry found one of these threats in their mailbox, meaning that this person knows where they lived. So they reported it to the police. And it just so happened that one of the detectives actually lived on like the exact same street as Chris and Sherry, so he agreed to kind of keep an eye on things, but he also pointed one of the security cameras that he had installed for his home, he pointed it at the home of Chris and Sherry, just to make sure. And then on the morning of May 5th, 2009, that detective got a call from the very frantic Chris Coleman. Chris told the detective that he was at the gym and he was trying to call his wife and his wife wasn't answering, so he asked the detective to go over to his house and make sure his entire family was okay. Inside the home, he found the bodies of Sherry and her 11 and 9-year-old sons, Garrett and Gavin. They had all been found in their beds and had all been strangled. There were disturbing messages spray painted all over the walls. Some of them read, "F you, I'm always watching." Some of them read, "You have paid." When they told Chris that his entire family was dead, murdered, he seemed oddly calm. Chris had an alibi. He claimed that when he left for the gym that morning, his entire family was alive.